Hey guys, Pyker here, and welcome back to another episode of Kerbal Space Program. Kerbal Reach too. We are on episode 27, and we are getting ready to start our operations out at Minmus. I have our space lab here. You can barely see it because of our nav ball was in the way there. And we have a maneuver node coming up right now that we're going to burn for to adjust our inclination, so we're on the same orbital path, I guess, if you want to call it that, as Minmus. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Should be pretty close. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty close. We should be able to get an encounter. But we have our space lab already in orbit around Kerbin, as well as our Minmus lander for our biome hopping. But we are attempting to get our lander and our space lab both out there this episode. At least that's the plan. Now, whether or not that comes to fruition is a completely different story. So we're going to try and see if we can line up an encounter with Minmus here shortly. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I could deal with that. We can adjust that later. We're actually coming in behind it. I don't know if I really want to do that. Can I do it over here? Oh, I'll still be coming in behind it. I haven't gone to Minmus in a really long time. I forget like where I need to set up to get a good encounter. That looks promising. Still coming in behind it, but it seems a little less fuel reliant, I guess if you want to call it that. So we're gonna wait and see and wait until we get to our maneuver node, which is in about 2 minutes. Let's find our node on our nav ball so we're pointed in the correct direction for when we need to burn. And we have quite a lot of fuel left from our first stage. I used Thor rockets, basically 4 Thor rockets toned down to 40% thrust, and this main engine was the one that got us into the complete orbit, but the Thor engines, or the Thor SRBs, are the ones that got us pretty much up to, I think it was like 1,200 meters per second, roughly, or 1.2 kilometers a second, whatever your poison is. And yeah, so we've got a lot of fuel left to get out to Minmus, so I am not too worried about it at all. I'm actually quite excited that it went as well as it did. We're going to go ahead and start our burn now. And hopefully get out to Minmus with our space lab, and hopefully get out to Minmus with our lander, and hopefully rendezvous them this episode. That is the plan. Then maybe start working on our space station as we biome hop around Minmus. I feel like you guys have seen me biome hop all along the moon, so I mean, we'll do a couple things on Minmus. I'll show you guys a couple biome hops on Minmus, but I'm not going to show you all of it because I don't feel it's necessary. And I overshot the piss out of that because I was talking. So I'm going to flip back around and adjust, and hopefully we didn't screw that up too much. How much monopropellant I have? Okay, I have quite a bit of monopropellant left. I was getting kind of worried there for a second. I also don't remember whether or not I actually put a monopropellant distiller on our lander. I don't know if I did that or not, to be honest. I'm just going to burn back the way we came a little bit. These engines have lag on them, so it's kind of hard to adjust in very small increments. Let's keep burning just a little bit more. It's looking good, looking good. Alright, that is perfectly fine with me. Let's look at our encounter that is not there. Son of a bitch. Let's add a maneuver. See if we can adjust and see if we can get an encounter. Anywhere. An encounter would be great. Okay, so that's not going to do it. Let's just get rid of that so we don't screw with that anymore. Okay. There's our encounter. Okay. So we'll fast forward out to that spot, or time accelerate to that spot, and hopefully adjust accordingly, so we can get an encounter with Minmus. That was kind of stupid. I haven't, like I said, I haven't had to go out to Minmus since it feels like a very long time since I've actually had to do that. So this is like I'm relearning where I need to go for the encounter with Minmus. I know that I always adjust the inclination first, even though it's kind of a waste of fuel. So if you make an eccentric orbit and you burn at the further out point or the farthest away from Kerbin, you actually save fuel. But I just kind of figured we had an ass ton of fuel, so it would be okay if I kind of did it the lazy way, I guess, if you want to call it that. Alright, so we'll just adjust very slowly until we get close. It's looking good. I might be able to even keep adjusting so we can get to... That's actually pretty much perfect. What does it say? 40 kilometers above the surface, as long as I'm coming in on the right side, so we're orbiting in the correct direction, which it looks like we may not be doing, but we can adjust that as soon as we get into the sphere of influence, which we will do after a quick save. And sorry about those last couple episodes. I was trying to screw with the resolution of the game and hopefully get a clearer picture for you guys, so that all the the orbital speeds and the degrees that I'm tilting over at and whatnot, you guys could actually see them. But it turned out that it just made it look a little bit crappier. So I went back to the old things. I turned my graphics up a little bit, but I went back to the old resolution, so you guys can get a full screen on YouTube without it looking weird. At least that's what I'm hoping is going to happen. Alright, almost at the sphere of influence. I'm going to do a quick save, just to be careful. And that satellite looks... No, it's in the right spot. Okay, it just looked like it was kind of sideways instead of in a polar orbit. Okay, sphere of influence. And no, we are not coming around the right way. So we need to adjust that, and I think we can do that pretty easily. Just gotta add a maneuver. Go this way, basically, and just burn until our trajectory changes. Even though the nodes don't show it changing, it changes just like that. And we just get to keep burning in that direction until we get to a point where I am comfortable. I think 50 will probably do it. Kind of overshot that a little bit. Let's see if we can back that off. Yeah, I'm thinking 50 kilometers above the surface. That seems to be a good point to have your spacecraft above the surface of a moon, because it doesn't take much fuel to get to it. We're almost out of fuel in our first stage, which is actually pretty impressive, because we still have this entire stage to go, which we'll probably end up using that to get back from Minmus when we are done biome hopping on the surface of Minmus. But we still got to get our lander out here, but I want to get this into a stable orbit first, and then we'll go from there. So we're slowly coming into Minmus, hopefully at screenshot material. I like screenshot material. Alright. And that looks like screenshot material. We'll get that puppy on there. We'll go back to the map and we will point in the wow, I can't think of the word. I can't think. Wow. There's prograde, and then there's... Wow, I can't think. I cannot think of it today. Wow, my brain is just dead. I just can't even think of the term right now. I am terrible today, guys. I'm so apologetic right now, and I mean it. I can't believe I can't think of the name of not prograde. That's embarrassing. And we might have brought that down a little too low, and we did. Crap. Can we fix that at all? I don't know if it's going up or not. Is it going down? No. No, it's going up. I just don't want to have to flip this whole damn thing. You know what? That's actually perfect. What we'll do is we'll ditch this stage and use our poodle stage to get us back to where we need to be. Because that'll just crash into the surface of Minmus, and we don't have to worry about it anymore. Just need to face prograde. Hopefully we're far enough away from our stage now. Let's take a peek at... Let's actually make sure we clear past this. Yeah, we're fine. And we'll bring our periapsis back up to a comfortable 50 kilometers above the surface. We are a little cattywampus, like our orbit's a little weird, but I think that's, you know, we can deal with that. It's not that terrible. I think we'll still have pretty easy time rendezvousing, mainly because it doesn't take much fuel at all to get these things situated correctly. And now that we don't have that big stage on us, we can actually spin around pretty easily and get a nice circularized orbit. Bring it back. Oh, I overshot it. Damn it. Oh, wow. Alright. Bring this back down to 50. Close enough. There we go. What's this at? 47. I'm not too much of a fan of that. 3 kilometers off. So we'll bring this back up once we get over to our apoaps again. If you hear popping and crackling in the background, it is because I'm sitting directly next to my fireplace, and I have a fire going. It is very cold. Well, not very cold, but it's essentially winter where I am right now. It's winter has begun as far as I'm concerned. If you've watched my series and you've been hanging out with me for as long as I have been doing this, which is almost a year now, I think. If you've been around, you'll know that I work night shift over the winter time, and video time uploads change from about 6 p.m. during the day, and they change to about 6 a.m. So it's a complete flip of my schedule, which is fine. It doesn't bother me at all. So just so you guys are aware, there will still be videos posted, and there might still be 2 a day, and there's definitely gonna be 1 a day. I might take like Fridays off or something randomly, but we'll wait and see until I actually am flipping my schedule or my sleep schedule. But as of right now, we are in orbit around Minmus, and we're going to point this thing north and get it settled because it is at a nice orbit. And we're going to go to our L7K at Kerbin, which is right there. Can I switch? Can I switch to the L7K? Okay, it's not letting me switch. I have to go to the Space Center. Alright then. There's no crew on the Space Lab, so I'm not too worried about just leaving it go. We'll figure it out when we get there. Alright, let's go to our L7K, which is our 7th Karbonite lander design, which is actually, it's a pretty good design, I think. I'll show you guys, and I'll go over the design of the lander as soon as we load up to it. Hopefully it's in the daytime, so you can actually see it. But it's a little bit more eco-friendly, or more... Oh, of course it's not in the daytime. Why would it be in the daytime? Let's set up a maneuver for Minmus. If I can just select Minmus. Where is it? There it is. Select Minmus as our target, and we will set up a maneuver node over here on our normal and anti-normal vectors. Oh, overshot it a little bit there. Just want to get it, basically do it, make it so they're 90 degrees compared to where they are right now. so we can get into pretty much the same orbit as Minmus, so it's easier to rendezvous. That's basically the only reason I do that. We're gonna have to burn south from the looks of things. Probably, maybe, maybe not, actually. Nope, we're gonna have to burn north because we're gonna be on the other side of the planet. I am stupid. Alright, well, I'm gonna point this at our maneuver node here on our nav ball, and I'll fast forward so we can get into the daytime, and then we'll go over the lander a little bit. Alright, we are in the daytime. Cool. So let's take a look at our lander. The new designed lander, and I don't have monopropellant monopropellant distillery on it. Damn, that's unfortunate. And we're on our Poodle engine, so it should we should be able to get out to Minmus pretty easily, but I would have liked to have had the other stage, but there's only so much you could do. Though we do have about 400 units of RCS fuel, and right now we don't even need to use the RCS because our control surfaces or our SAS modules have enough torque to pull our spacecraft around. Basically, it's the same design. It's got more science on it, so we can stop at more biomes in one trip. So we can stop at 4 different biomes in one trip now. So we have 4 materials bays. We have 4 RCS containers underneath them. We have these tiny, tiny, tiny little Karbonite engines, which produce, I think, 10 kilonewtons of thrust. I could be wrong. And we also have our Karbonite miner, obviously. We have a tank of Karbonite in the middle. We have some parachutes in case I wanted to actually save this lander when we come back to Kerbin. And we also, we have our typical science stuff up here. We have a soil analysis, a temperature gauge, and an accelerometer because we unlocked the accelerometer with our newfound science from the moon. That's about all the new stuff other than these big solar panels now. I figured the big solar panels would be a little bit more useful than having 4 of the small ones. And I might, okay, no, I'm not missing my maneuver node. I got really nervous there for a second. Oh, that would have been embarrassing. But we have the same amount of life support on it, so we should be perfectly fine to stay out at Minmus as long as we need to complete all of the biome hopping that we need to do. Anyways, so we're going to fast forward to our maneuver node and get this puppy roaring. We're actually going to fire our engines full throttle here and see what our burn time is. Minute 9. That is fine. I think these Poodle engines will handle that burn just fine. Or this Poodle engine, rather. It's only one. It's only 250 meters per second to burn to get into the same orbit as Minmus, and then hopefully we'll be able to rendezvous, or at least get over and into orbit in this, and then maybe next episode rendezvous with our space lab. I wasn't expecting it to take this long to get everything situated. I was kind of hoping to rendezvous with it this episode, but it's not that bad. Wow. Yeah. My brain is just out of whack today, guys. I apologize. Just a lot of work is starting to kick in full force, so my brain is all over the place right now, but I still like playing video games, and I'm gonna damn well keep doing it. Actually caught up with our maneuver node burn time. That's awesome. Just a little adjust. Get as close as we possibly can. Perfect. Now let's see what it is. Oh, wow, that's way off. We're going to have to adjust again. Son of a bitch. That's fine. Let's do this. Thinking I need to burn. Yeah, I was going to say, I think I need to burn that way. Oh. 7-second burn. In the same direction, too, so that's not bad. So we'll just fast forward to that real quick. Alright, guys. Let's get this puppy in order. That burn, 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 burn. Stop the burn. Okay, what are we at? 0, 0. That's good enough for me. Awesome. So, we're going to call this episode here, guys. We'll probably get this lander out to Minmus off camera, and we'll be rendezvousing next episode. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this episode, be sure to drop a like at the bottom of the video. It does help me out greatly, and I do appreciate it. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss an episode of Kerbal Reach. And thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today, and I will see all of you next time.